Now we'll be proceeding with business license, or also known as mayor's permit. This is a legal authorization issued by government agencies that allows an individual or a company to operate a business within a specific city or municipality. The main purpose of this permit is to ensure that the business complies with local laws and regulations, including zoning, taxation, health, and safety standards. Without a mayor's permit, a business cannot legally operate in the Philippines. This is obtained from the local government unit, or LGU, where the business will be located, and it serves as a proof that the business has met the requirements set by the local government and is authorized to conduct its operations. This permit also helps protect the public by ensuring that businesses follow proper standards and regulations. Now, it is important to note that the procedures and requirements for obtaining a mayor's permit may vary depending on the city or municipality. Different local governments may implement their own ordinances and policies based on the needs of their community. Therefore, business owners should always check the specific guidelines of their respective LGUs before starting their business operations. So here are the list of requirements for getting a mayor's permit in the Philippines, namely application form, certificate of registration, barangay business clearance, community tax certificate, contract of lease, sketch or pictures of the business location, public liability insurance, locational or zoning clearance, building permit, as well as electrical inspection certification, sanitary permit, and lastly, fire safety inspection permit.
Number 1 is the application for authority to print receipts and invoices. Before a business can issue an official receipts and invoices, it must first secure an authority to print from BIR using the Form 1906. Along with this application, several documentary requirements must be submitted. This includes the BIR Certificate of Registration, or also known as the Form 2303, sample copies of principal and supplementary receipts and invoices, the accreditation certificate of the printer, proof of payment of annual registration fee using the Form 0605, job order from the printer, and lastly, the quarterly report of the accredited printer. This document ensures that all printed receipts and invoices are authorized and compliant with the BIR standards. Next is the registration of books of accounts. Businesses are required to register their books and have them stamped by the Revenue District Office where their business is registered. These books includes the General Journal, General Ledger, Cash Receipt Book, Cash Disbursement Book, Subsidiaries Sales Journal, and lastly, Subsidiaries Purchase Journal. The BIR Certificate of Registration, or also known as the Form 2303, are also required in registering these books. This process ensures proper recording of all financial transactions for the taxation purposes.
Now, moving on, after makuha po natin yung BIR Form 2303, may last step pa po na pinaka-important, which is yung attend the taxpayer's initial briefing. So, ito po ay pinoprovide ng RDO or Revenue District Office para sa mga newly registered na business. So, bakit po ba need natin umattend sa ganito? So, para po malaman natin ng malinaw kung ano yung mga rights, task, and ating ibang responsibilities bilang isang taxpayer. So, para maiwasan natin yung penalties sa huli. So, ngayon, tingnan po natin yung table titled The Revised Withholding Tax. Here, we have the 250,000 and below. So, kung ang kita po natin ay 250,000 pababa per year, none or 0% tax yung ibig pong sabihin. So, ang term po natin dito is tax exempt po sila. Next is the 250,000 to 400,000 pesos. So, ang tax po natin dito ay nasa 20% nang lumagpas kapag more than 250,000 or between 250,000 to 400,000 pesos. Next is the 400,000 to 800,000 pesos. So, magiging base tax po nila is 30,000% plus 25% ng excess over 400K. And then, next is the 800,000 pesos to 2 million pesos. So, ang base po natin is 130,000 pesos plus 30% ng excess over 800,000 pesos. So, next is the 2 million pesos to 8 million pesos. So, umaabot na nasa around 490,000 pesos ang base plus 32% ng excess over 2 million. And ang above 8 million pesos is para naman po sa mga high earners na kumikita ng 8 million sa isang taon. So, ang tax po nila is 2.41 million pesos plus 35% ng halagang lumagpas ng 8 million pesos. So, in short, habang lumalaki po yung annual income ng isang individual, tumataas din po yung bracket and percentage ng tax sa kinakaltas o wini-withhold sa kanila.
Hello guys! Ngayon, share ko lang ang tungkol sa Republic Act No. 7875. So, ano nga ba to? Basically, ito yung batas na nagsasabi na lahat na nagtatrabaho, maging sa government man or private sector, ay required maging member nito. So, ano nga ba to? Ito yung tinatawag natin na PhilHealth or PHIC. So, lahat kasali dito dahil mandatory talaga siya. So, para mas maintindihan natin siya ng maayos, is bibigyan ko na lang kayo ng scenario or example. So, imagine natin si Juan. Si Juan, nagtatrabaho siya sa isang private call center. At si Mario naman, nagtatrabaho naman siya sa isang public school teacher ng government. So, di ba, magkaiba sila ng industriya, di ba? Pero dahil sa batas na ito, pareho silang automatic na kinakaltasan ng sahod buwan-buwan para sa kanilang PhilHealth contributions. So, bakit? Kasi required ang mga company at opisina nila na hulugan yan. Bakit nga ba kailangan ng PhilHealth? Ano nga ba yung magiging benefit nito? And bakit nga ba siya nagmamatter? So, ano naman yung balik nung PhilHealth kay Juan at kay Maria? So, let's say, nagkasakit si Juan at kailangan niya ma-confine sa hospital. Dahil active naman yung hulog niya buwan-buwan under the Republic Act No. 7875, paglabas niya, may bawas na agad yung hospital bill niya. Dahil nga sa PhilHealth na hinuhulugan buwan-buwan ng sahod niya at ng employer niya. So kumbaga, sa barkada, ito yung compulsory na ambagan para kapag may kailangan ng tulong, may madudukot na pondo para sa pagpapagamot. In short, yung Republic Act No. 7875, ang dahilan kung bakit lahat tayo is may automatic na health insurance. So, ngayon naman is, magkano nga ba yung kinakaltas buwan-buwan? So, syempre, nakadepende yan sa sahod natin. So, kung ang sahod mo ay naglalaro into 10,000 pababa, ang kabuoang premium nun kada month is 275. Pero, yung 275 na yun is hahatiin pa siya, 50-50, from personal share to employer share. So, magiging 137.50 cents yung sayo at 137.50 cents naman yung kakaltasan from employer mo. So, ganun po nagkakaltas or kumbaga ganun nagkakaltas or ganun yung nagiging hatian sa contribution into PhilHealth. 50% galing sa sahod mo at 50% naman galing sa sasagutin ng employer mo. So ngayon is magkano naman sa pagitan ng 10,000 hanggang 39,999.99 cents. So magre-range naman yung kabuoang bayad mula sa 275 hanggang 1,099.99 cents. So katulad lang din to nung kanina, 50-50 pa rin. 50% sa'yo at 50% dun sa employer mo. At kapag umabot naman yung sahod mo ng 40,000 pataas, magiging monthly premium mo is aabot ng 1,100. Magiging 550 siya kasi nga 50-50 kayo ng employer mo. Kumbaga, mas malaki yung sahod mo, mas malaki yung contribution. Pero mas maganda nito, is lagi kang may kahati. Kahati mo yung employer mo. So, hindi ganun kasakit sa bulsa.
So now, expand po natin paano natin maiintindihan or paano po kinukuha yung tax ng isang tao gamit dun sa table na in-explain ko kanina. So first, hanapin po yung bracket. Alamin natin kung saan pasok yung annual income niya. Second, kuhain yung excess. So bali, ima-minus yung base ng bracket niya dun sa kabuuang kita niya. And third, compute, imumultiply yung percentage na nakalagay tapos i-add dun sa fixed or base tax amount kung meron. So, for example, sabihin natin yung isang employee kumikita siya ng 500,000 pesos sa isang taon. So, paano natin kukunin yung tax niya gamit yung sa table kanina? So, pag tinignan natin yung table, yung 500,000 pesos, pasok siya dun sa third row, which is between 400,000 pesos to 800,000 pesos. So, ang nakalagay sa rule nakalagay sa side na to is 30,000 pesos plus 25% of excess over 400,000 pesos. So, kapag kinompute, yung tatlong steps is magkano yung lumampas sa 400,000 pesos. Second is kukunin natin yung 25% ng excess, and then now i-add natin yung sa fixed base tax na 30,000 pesos. So yung kabuuang withholding tax niya sa buong taon is 55,000 pesos.